HIAS is one of the oldest and largest refugee resettlement organizations in the world. They've been working with refugees in Ecuador since 2003.
It currently supports 70,000 refugees, mostly from Colombia.
Ecuador es el país que más refugiados recibe en América Latina, especialmente colombianos. Ecuador, al ser un país muy abierto a la recepción de refugiados, realmente ha tenido una tradición humanitaria muy importante.
HIAS provides psychological care as well as legal, housing, and job assistance to help refugees build a new life.
HIAS Ecuador asked us to evaluate their assistance model. They wanted to know whether HIAS empowers refugees to have agency over their own lives.
We worked with HIAS to develop evaluation tools for the project. Our team spent 10 days in Quito, Ecuador, where we used focus groups, surveys, and interviews to learn about the effectiveness of their assistance model. In the end, we spoke with more than 100 refugees and over a dozen HIAS staff.
We found that discrimination against refugees prevents them from adapting and integrating into Ecuadorian society, so we recommended HIAS to accompany them to appointments and meetings with landlords, employers, health clinics, and schools.
We also found that refugees connected with each other during focus groups. After they were over, refugees continued to share their stories and exchange phone numbers, and it demonstrated that outside of HIAS walls, refugees feel isolated, and that HIAS could have a larger role in helping them build community.
We found that many refugees were confused about what rights they had in Ecuador. To address this, we suggested that HIAS offer more legal workshops and look into ways to expand their legal services.
Finally, we found that refugees felt empowered after working with HIAS. They told us that the psychological care they received was essential to addressing the trauma they'd experienced. We found that the service was one of the strongest ways HIAS supports refugees.
The Meadows Fellowship positively impacted my time here at LBJ. As a global policy student and someone focusing on refugee policy, getting to work with a refugee resettlement organization was incredibly insightful and meaningful for my professional development.
After I graduate, I will be joining the U.S. Foreign Service. Speaking with refugees reminded me of the importance of foreign language skills and cultural adaptability.
I learned that stories are powerful. Most of the data we collected was qualitative. It came directly from refugees who told us that it was important for them to be heard.
I learned that people have this incredible ability to adapt to their circumstances and thrive, no matter how hard the situation.
Prior to grad school, I spent a year living in Colombia, and I met many displaced Colombians. As a Meadows Fellow, I learned about the challenges faced by displaced Colombians who make it to Ecuador, and I was reminded of the fact that conflicts cannot be contained within a country's borders.